So, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about the third or 33 the third version of the Police Squad movie series, starring the incomparable Leslie Nielsen as Frank Drebin and Priscilla Presley as his paramour. Now, Naked Gun 33 and a third, The Final Insult, came out in 1994, and it kind of wrapped up a lot of plot devices from the previous comedy series. Um, it was supposed to be titled The Naked Gun 33 and a third, just for the record, but it was changed after the studio felt that audiences would not get the joke, which if you're if you're downgrading your audiences, you deserve what you get. Now, initially the title was Naked Gun 3: The Final Insult, and according to some Christmas 1993 video previews, that was the title. Now, this was also a very bizarre last appearance by O.J. Simpson. Now, it was the final film release before his murders and trials. It doesn't get played on TV as much as the first two movies, and I really don't know why. I find it superior in a lot of ways to the first two parts of the series because um, with the return of George Kennedy as Captain Ed, and also with the Academy Awards plot, the basic plot is Drebin has to stop a terrorist attack that's being planned for the Academy Awards. And the subtext, the last half of the movie is kind of a parody of all the Oscar movies, and includes a very special appearance by the infamous Golden Globe nominee Piers Zadora in a kind of an Oscar tribute. Now, it includes the beautiful Playboy model Anna Nicole Smith, character actor Fred Ward, as well as numerous cameos. The basic plot is it's again he tries to infiltrate the terrorist cell in 83 minutes, a typical ZAZ sight and audio and visual gags. Uh, and it's kind of weird because the amount of cameos are quite strong because you got Mary Lou Retton, Raquel Welch, Olivia Dukakis, James Earl Jones, as like I said, as part of that Oscar themed. Now, box office, it did actually quite well. Made 51 million at the United States and Canada, and 122 million worldwide. Although it was the lowest grossing of the Naked Gun series, it was the number one weekend box office. So very, very cheap to produce, big results. And again, if you know the Police Squad series, you're going to get. A lot of people said the start of the movie and the end of the movie was the best part, which is kind of bizarre. But the Academy Award breakdown of the end was quite strong, and this is probably the strongest use of cameos, which is kind of a part of the Naked Gun series. You also had Diane Carroll, Shannon Doherty, Vic Damone, Morgan Fairchild, Elliot Gould, Mariel Hemingway, and Florence Henderson as well. So and Ann B. Davis, of course, from Alice from the series, and Randall Tex Cobb as well, the infamous bounty hunter from Raising Arizona. Now, the poster art was quite strong as well. There was a original photograph parody of Demi Moore that was used as a Naked Gun parody, and the like I said, the overall plot is quite strong. But at 83 minutes, like you said, it goes pretty fast. You know where you know what you're getting. There was various Leslie Nielsen parody movies that followed, but wasn't under the Naked Gun. So this was kind of the third one. And for its time, it had a high budget, $30 million. But like I said, Paramount put a lot of money into it. But like I said, you can probably see it on most major what do you call it, cable networks, edited of course. But the unedited version again is quite strong. I think the movie was a little bit too short for me. I like my jazz movies around to 100 minutes. I like that the extra care that is taken. But Leslie Nielsen, probably the funniest man Canada's ever produced, and that's saying a lot because when he was promoting part of the movie, actually leading into it, he went on national TV and he was doing interviews for the movie, and he joked. He said, "What's your family like?" I think it was on not Johnny Carson, but David Letterman. So, my brother's the deputy prime minister of Canada, and everybody started to laugh. And his brother was the deputy prime minister of Canada, MP in the Mulroney government. All kind of in jokes with Leslie Nielsen, and of course he would bring along his little fart noise thing to the talk shows. So the whole experience is you got Priscilla Presley. She's not an actress, and she plays a very strong version of herself. Fred Ward is always good for a few jokes playing against type. Anna Nicole Smith, probably her best performance, which is saying a lot because when she got on drugs, she was a talented comedy actress. She could bring the Naked Gun stuff. And George Kennedy, who can not like George Kennedy as Drebin's right hand man. So I give this 3.5 stars out of 5. Again, not for everybody who doesn't like the ZAZ, but for a Sunday afternoon and on the background with your COVID baking, this is the movie to play. So again, if you like my podcast channel, please give a subscribe, like, or a comment. If you really like it, tell your friends. And like we say at the Bayview Drive-In up North Shore, if you don't like it, don't tell nobody.